Hello my viewers, you're welcome to Frank Nutri Facts YouTube channel where we discuss only about healthy lifestyles. Today I'm going to show us how to identify whether the lens we pay for is actually what is given to us. Now what made me to decide to talk about this very topic was that a certain patient came to the clinic some months ago, and then after we finished seeing the patient, we recommended a particular type of lens, and that is bluecut transition, because of the complaint of difficulties sustaining while doing their work, particularly when using phone or laptop. So we decided to recommend bluecut transition in addition to the actual prescription the patient needs. And then when we told the patient what the cost was, the patient was like, it's very expensive, that he has a friend of his that did that same type of lens at a very cheaper rate. And then we asked him how much, and what he mentioned was like 5,000 naira difference. We told him without that, but all the same we allowed him to make his choice. So he left and never showed back. So last week this patient came back with that same complaint. So when he was referred to us from the ophthalmologist room to us, and then we listened to his complaint, it was still that same thing that he complained months back. So I was like, okay, so haven't you done the glasses? They say he has done it, but you're still having that same problem. And then I asked him, did you make sure that the lens was bluecut? He said yes. That he told me then that it's bluecut, that he did it, but the problem is still there, you know. I said, okay, please, can I have a look at the lens? And then he brought it. Honestly, to tell you the truth, it looked as if it was bluecut lens, because you know, usually bluecut lens usually have this blue reflex when you are looking at it, okay? So when I looked at it, it looks as if it was bluecut. So the next thing I told him was, okay, did you ask them to test it for you to confirm that it's actually a bluecut lens? He said no, he didn't. He now asked me, is there anything like that? It's not the same thing he's wearing that I'm wearing, you know? And I said, okay, hold on. So I quickly tested it, and lo and behold, the lens that was given to this patient was just photochromic lens, but you know, it's photochromic blue. Now in photochromic lenses, some of them turn to different colors when under the sun, so it depends on what you order. We have photo gray, we have photo pink, photo brown, photo blue. So is this photo blue now that most people are mistaken for bluecut? In some people will go and give you photo blue and then you think it's bluecut transition. So when I demonstrated this and the patient saw that what was given to him was photochromic blue and not bluecut transition, he was speechless. And then I told him, you see, because of just 5,000 naira difference, you have gone for something that is not what you wanted. And that is what has made me to talk about this now. So whenever you are paying for a lens, or whenever you pay for a lens and it's finally given to you, ask the doctor or the optician or the optometrist, how do I know that the lens you said you are giving to me is what you are giving me? You know, and of course, if the person is doing the right thing, there is no fear. The person will actually demonstrate, show you this and this. Do you understand? I am talking about in terms of photochromic lens or bluecut lens. Okay, particularly if you are paying for bluecut lens, ask the person, how do I know that it is bluecut lens that is being given to me and not photochromic blue? Do you understand? So that is the essence of today's video. So I'm going to demonstrate this thing to you for you to see and understand, so next time you'll be able to know actually what you want. So stay tuned while I demonstrate it. So these are the three major lenses we usually give in the clinic. So this is white lens, or what we call CR39. We usually give this lens to people who just have refractive error. They don't have any complaints with whether sun or computer or laptop or phone or any other screen gadgets. So we just go straight and give them their prescription. In other cases, some people may also have a problem with sun, but because they lack that financial ability to pay for photochromic lens or bluecut lens, then we give them this white lens. But what we do is that we now tint it so that it will look like a shade. Now the difference is that the thickness that the lens has by the time we tint it remains constant. Whether you're under the sun or you're out of the sun, the tint is there with you. So for some people, when you're under the sun, you appreciate it because of that shade. Then when you come out of the sun, you find out that it's like you're wearing sunshade in a room where you want it to be bright. So somehow you may not really feel comfortable with it. So because of that, when we are tinting, we don't tint it so thick. we'll just make it a light tint. So that is it for this. Now another one you have here is photochromic lens. This is photochromic lens with anti-reflex coating. If you look at this lens, you notice some kind of greenish reflex on it. That is anti-reflex coating. As a matter of fact, this is a transition lens, because a transition lens is a lens that has photochromic property as well as anti-reflex coating on it. Meanwhile, a pure photochromic lens is just photochromic lens. When it's under the sun, it blocks the UV ray, but it doesn't have this anti-reflex property. Okay, anti-reflex property helps to block or reduce glare that comes from whether oncoming vehicle and all of that. It reduces it. So this is what we call transition lens. Okay, and this is what we call bluecut lens. Now if you look at it, you also discover there is some kind of blue reflex that you are noticing. Now this is the one that confuses patients. Maybe some people go to optical shop or other places and then they demand for bluecut transition lens, and then what they get for what they have paid for will not be photochromic blue. Like I said earlier, this photochromic lens or transition lens can come either as gray or as brown or as blue. So sometimes they will give you photo blue, okay, in place of bluecut transition. So that is just what happened. This patient actually paid for bluecut transition lens, and what they gave that patient was blue photo lens. So both bluecut transition lens and blue photo lens have this blue reflex. So once they show you, say it's blue photo, and you look at it, you see that blue reflex, in your mind you think what they are giving you is actually a transition, is actually a bluecut transition. Meanwhile, that is not. So that was what really happened in the case of that man. So the only way to actually identify whether what was given to you is actually bluecut transition or photo blue is by using a testing kit. There is a testing kit that you use. You will pass the blue light ray through the lens, and then if it is actually a bluecut transition lens, it will block that blue light from passing, and you will discover it will start forming a tint or a shade, a coat, a black coat, to prevent the blue light from passing through. But if it is a photochromic lens, it will also block, that is the UV ray component of that light, it will block it, but meanwhile the blue ray will pass through. And of course, if it is a white lens, at least by mere looking at it, you will know now that it's a white lens because there is no reflex. And of course, when you pass light through the lens, everything passes through to the other end. So let me demonstrate it for us right now. So you can see the light, the blue light, very dangerous. Now if you pass white lens through it, you can see the white is still showing, the light all passed through, and of course you can see there is no tint or anything on the lens to show you it's a white lens. And now this is a photochromic lens. Now let me pass it through it. You can see the blue light is still showing on the wall, okay, to show you that the blue lens is still passing through, okay. But then if you look at the lens now, you can see it's giving a black shade. Are you seeing it? It's giving a black tint. That is to tell you that this photochromic lens is capable of blocking the ultraviolet ray that is passing through this light, but it does not block the blue light, and that is why you see it. The blue light is still there despite what I'm doing. You can see it, but it's forming a black tint, meaning it's blocking the UV ray component of it. Okay, now look at this is a bluecut lens. Look at it. Did you see what happened? It has gobbled up all the harmful ray. You see it? See the light again? See, check my hand. You can see I'm not fabricating anything. See the blue light? Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? So you find that bluecut lens is capable of blocking every harmful ray. Did you see it? Check my hand. You see that I'm not making any adjustment. You see it? So that is, you can see all the blue tint that is coming up. Meanwhile, with photochromic lens or transition lens, see it? You see? Now the lens will block the UV ray that is in this light, but the blue ray still passes through. Look at it. Did you see it? You can see it's also forming a black coating as I'm passing it through. That means it's trapping the UV ray, but the blue light is still passing through. You see it? The blue light is so, like I said, when I demonstrated this thing to this very patient, he was so shocked. He didn't know what to do again. Meanwhile, he has wasted his money. So he had to pay us again this time around and then we do the right thing. So when next you are paying for a lens, and particularly it is blue cut transition, please, before you collect it, ask the optician, the optometrist, or the ophthalmologist, whoever is doing the lens for you, to please prove that what you have paid for is what is being given to you. So if you really like what I have just shown you, if you really understood what I've just said so far, if you have gained knowledge from what I have said now, please kindly share this to your friends, give me a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel, because you're going to learn so much about your eye health. Until I meet you again, bye for now.